Hello and welcome back. I am Lord Revonworc. This is Civ 5. For a moment there I was about to say this is CK2, which it is not. Anyways, when last we left off, we crushed Austria beneath the boots of the Serbian Empire, and it was fucking awesome. Take a look now. There's only like only 9 countries left in the world out of the original, I want to say 16. Yes, that is 16. That's just barely more than half survived. Which, from a percentage standpoint, is like way better than real life history, but I digress. Now that we own Austria, we have a serious issue with income and happiness. We do not have enough of either. Now, one way we should really be dealing with this income issue is downsizing our military. And the only way to do that without looking unpatriotic is to start a war and get everyone killed. Unfortunately, the only viable war target is Japan, and they sort of have nuclear weapons. And though we have the technology, we don't have any of the machinery built yet, so that might be out of the picture slightly. So I guess that means we're going to have to just start disbanding troops, as much as I loathe the idea. Now this guy here, no upgrade. Don't need you. Congratulations, you're free to go. And that was worth like 7 upgrade levels. I should get rid of all the Gatling guns. They cost too much to upgrade. I mean, it's 260 gold. Even if they're high level. Yeah. Maybe I'll hold on to a high level 1 or 2. You're not high enough level for me to keep, though. Do I want to get rid of this guy? He is at the Japanese border, so he could be needed in the near future. Some of these Austrian hunters, though. You're fired. You're fired. I shouldn't be firing the most upgraded ones, though, should I? No, the most upgraded ones I should be preparing to head over to Japan. They will be the next ones I invade, but I'll need to wait a little bit before I even consider that approach, because let's face it, it is kind of crazy, what with them having nukes. We did reduce the size of the military by a decent proportion, though. Anyone around here worth disbanding? What about this guy? Okay. That should keep us in decent condition long enough for some of our cities to come out of resistance, so we can start making money off of them. So So I think that's enough disbanding for now. Meanwhile, I will get an Inquisitor next turn. And also, let's start moving troops northward to the Japanese border. But try to stay just barely outside of the Japanese's line of sight. Don't want them getting suspicious of us. Now, even though we did defeat Austria, that doesn't automatically defeat their proposal to the League of Nations, which is to embargo Romania. Now, normally I wouldn't care. After all, I'm not trading with them, and they're barely trading with me. I'm only getting like 3 gold a turn. So monetarily, it wouldn't affect me that much if they got embargoed. But what this embargo proposal is going to cause, on the other hand, is a serious risk of my autocracy proposal failing. See, Romania has a strong possibility of pooling all of their votes into trying to stop that bill from passing. So, that taken into account, it may simply be me and the Soviets and... Wait, are there any other autocrats? I can't remember. Culture victory. No, it's just me, Romania, and the Soviets. So, if I just get the 22 votes from me and the Soviets against 30 from the combined opposition, there's a strong possibility we may not be able to succeed. So, I have sent diplomats around the world to all of the enemies who hate me the least, and I plan on paying them in huge bounties of luxuries and outdated strategic resources that the AIs still seem to want amorously for some reason, in order for them to vote whichever way they were leaning towards on the embargo Romania. Frankly, I should also send a delegate over to Romania and try to get them to vote on the world ideology thing. Yeah, I mean, I could lose out on some tech from Japan. However, I could also lose out on Alexander being brutally murdered. Oh, and look at that. They are spending their hard-earned uranium on a nuclear plant. Excellent. I will be spending all of mine on bombs, though. Like, seriously, all of it. Every single tiny little piece of U-235 is going into a fucking atomic bomb. And every single one of those atomic bombs is going to be lobbed at Japan. But don't tell them I said that. They're a bit touchy about the whole being bombed with nukes thing. I mean, I'm not doing it out of any kind of historical thing or anything. It has nothing to do with that. It's only because they're my enemies and I'm just now entering the atomic era. Actually, technically, I'm well past the atomic era into... Honestly, there's a good chance that that's past the information era, too. The current historical era that we live in is often called the information era. But if you actually take a look at the lengths of all the historic eras, they've been getting progressively smaller and smaller. The previous one, the atomic era, lasted from about the World War II time to, I guess I would say sometime around the early 90s. So that's maybe about 50 years. And prior to that, you had the late modern era. And the late modern era lasted from about the... what was it? From around the... mid... I'm... the mid-19th century to around the World War II era, so that was about a century. And before that, you had, crap. I used to remember these eras like the back of my hand. Was there a mid-modern era? There's definitely early modern and late modern. And early modern started pretty much at the end of the 15th century, when the majority of Europeans discovered the Americas. And... shit, is there a mid-modern era? I want to say yes. I want to say that it started sometime around... yes, that's right. Started around the late mid-18th century. I'm remembering now. Mid-18th century, yeah. So, from the late 15th century to the mid-18th century for the early modern era. Am anything I'm saying making any sense? And also, I just realized that that sentence was incredibly agrammatical. You, General Jeanne d'Arc, to the Japanese border. That's an order. Rockefeller, what did I want to use you for? Wooing a city-state? That does sound like something I would want to use you for. Okay, Rockefeller, head south. I'm gonna see if I can grab up one of Austria's former friends. Like Opidum Badivorum here. I could, like, just buy them out now. No, that would be an incredibly dumb idea. Okay, so let me just think about this for a moment. So, early modern was about 2.5 centuries, mid-modern was about a century, late modern was about a century, the atomic era was about half a century, and the modern information era is probably going to end before half a century. And then if you look beyond the modern era, you had the Middle Ages, which was about 1,000 years. And before that, the era of classical antiquity, also about 1,000 eras. And before that, you had the ancient era, which was several thousand years. I don't remember the exact length offhand. So you go from a several thousand year era to 1,000 years to 1,000 years to 100 years to another 100 years. People we all like to visit. I win. To 50 years. Actually, at that rate, the information era will probably last another 50 years before being reduced. So maybe we are still in the information era. Who the fuck knows? You finish an amphitheater? We don't have the money for that. Get me a castle. It's free and it's happiness boosting. Grease grabbed up Ur. Gonna be hard to compete with them. Right. I was going to send you to Bucharest as a diplomat, wasn't I? Forget that technology. We can let it be temporarily lost when we crush the Japanese into dust. Which I am still planning on doing. Really no incentive to not kill them all. Come on! Vámonos! Everybody, let's go! We're going to Japan! So we can kill a bunch of Japanese people for daring to oppose us. Do I want to pull garrisons out of my cities? I mean, it would leave them unprotected from a aquatic attack, but... And you know what? We should really be preparing for an aquatic attack, not a land assault. Look at this. Look at this tiny bit of land that we have to work with. I mean, if we try to attack by land, our people will get annihilated. Most likely. But we don't have a navy. Which means we'd better damn well hope that Klagenfurt and Salzburg finish up their resistance before the war starts. Okay, anyone needing repairs, just repair. Oh, no, you just sleep. There, good Sir Bomber. And you, Robber Baron, just keep going south. Oh, you know what? I forgot to hire that Inquisitor. I should do it fast. The Cathys are starting to overtake the Viennese way over here. Would it be possible for me to, like, grab myself, ooh, a pagoda, that could be useful. A great profit instead. Damn, too expensive. Okay, well, Salzburg is a huge center of Catholicism in the region. So I'm thinking we go there with our Inquisitor missionary combo. What's this? I'm friends with Ur and Yaoundé and Oppidum Batavorum. Excellent.
Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves.
New great musician. Okay, first of all, Ur. You say we're friends now. I don't have enough money to ally with you just yet. Yaoundé. All I would need is 30 influence. Can't afford it. Australia has denounced Romania. Oppidum Batavorum. So I would need 30, can't afford it. And Ushaisha. Well, I'm already allied with them. Now, these guys over here, the new musicians. Create me a great work, Vincent van Gogh. Story Night! I love it! Beautiful. Now, where did it end up falling? Would have had to have been somewhere near to Belgrade. Starry Night, Starry Night. There you are, Starry Night. It's a Serbian atomic era painting. There, that helps slightly. Oh, you think I might be able to do Uffizi, since I crushed Austria. I have 2 modern-era Austrian paintings. Is there any chance I might have found a third? I have! It's right here in Yekaterinburg. So, these other 2 Austrian modern-era paintings. Boom! That's a good get. So here we've got Italy Classical and Austria Modern. Classical and Austria Modern. Soviet Renaissance and Bulgaria Classical. Ah, son of a bitch. Well, whatever. It looks like I'm about out of time. And since someone just decided to come and interrupt me, I'm going to have to call this day. Bye!